So it's just after 6, Wednesday. I started the car, and let me tell you, in this kind of weather, minus 18 Celsius now, a remote start is a godsend. It's not a luxury feature, it's a necessity. So, and it works like, my apartment is right there, so I go around the corner from about, I don't know, 60 meters. I start the car and I run back inside the warm building, and I'm carrying this because it keeps freezing. You know, like yesterday I was doing Uber and I took it with me inside the locker room at work, but when I tried to use it, it only worked like for a couple of times, you know, like, sorry about that. So now I kept it inside my apartment. Okay, what's the temperature of the coolant here? Oh, 55. Well, it says minus 16, not 18, which is not, so 2 degrees warmer than my phone said. But according to my weather map, it's gonna get colder in the afternoon for some reason. Normally it's supposed to be warmer, right, when the sun goes up, but and today is December 18th, I think. So I did some Ubering yesterday after work. Made almost $70 in, I think, like 2.5–3 hours. Got 2 tips, $5 something each. The one guy gave me $10 cash. So yesterday, for some reason, people were appreciating my services. So in other news, so yeah, the license for Uber has been renewed for both Durango and Lyft. No, for Uber. And I sent a picture of the background check to Lyft via the app. That's all they need. And yesterday got an email. Got 2 emails from City of Calgary saying that they received an application on my behalf for a license renewal. So I'm guessing it's Lyft. And why 2? Because one is for Compass and one is for the Durango. But Compass is definitely gonna be my choice number 1 for taxi. So I filled up yesterday and it showed 490 kilometers to empty. Now it shows 450, but I did more than 40 kilometers yesterday, because a lot of that was on the highways. So on the highway this thing improves, so now you see it says 10.4 liters per 100 kilometers, just because it was idling. But Durango, yeah, I love that vehicle, but it's more for, you know, personal use and for rentals because people fill it up when they return it, right? So it's basically, the gas is free for me, but it's too expensive for taxi. But I might use it, you know, when there's a huge demand, let's say on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, when people might need XL, Uber XL. Right, because Durango has 7 seats, so I can carry 6 passengers. It does pay better. Oh, by the way, yesterday one of the rides was Comfort, Uber Comfort, and the difference was, I think, was like $3. Like, I think I drove the guy, let's say 10 kilometers, and normally Uber will pay me $10, but this time I got 13. everything is okay at work. Yesterday we finished the deliveries and pickups early, and so dispatch asked me to preload a machine on my Freightliner for today, and it's one of those electric boom lifts. It looks small, but it's probably one of our heaviest machines, because when I try to it's not a rough terrain, it's regular, those solid tires, and they're very bad on slippery surfaces. I remember once I was loading this thing, because the bed is like this, it started sliding back, and so I was afraid it'll do the same, because it's all frosty, right? Yesterday was also as cold as today, and so I just drove it on the end of the deck, and then I tried to raise the deck and move it to the truck, and I see the truck, the front axle went into the air. It was too much weight, and so then I put the support down, the support legs in the back, I put them down, and right away that helped. The front went down, and so I think that machine is like 13,000 pounds, which is pretty much the limit for this truck because of the single axle in the back. And this stretch, and yesterday, the traffic was murder in the morning, and there was a bunch of accidents. People were hitting each other because of quite a few intersections had ice, coming to a stop, and so people would drive as normal and then hit the brakes, and the car does not stop. Like happened to be yesterday, 2 times. I come to an intersection, like slowly, but it's a Freightliner. It's not a Toyota Prius, so it's heavy, especially with the load. And I hit the brakes, and there was a stop sign, and nothing happens. The truck keeps moving forward, and there's a bus coming from that way, like holy moly. So I released the brakes, right away the truck slowed down. Like when you have the brakes on, your wheels are locked, so they act as, skates. But actually everything melted. Yesterday we had some snow. See, today the roads are, you see, like here, I can see it's kind of like, can be slippery. Yeah, it's ice. And then we have like a major intersection when you come out from our shop and you get on the main road. That one has a little downhill, and it was all icy as well, so yeah, gotta pay attention and gotta keep the distance. Basically observe that 747 rule I mentioned before. And these electric machines, the one I preloaded, they don't work when it's cold, and so they put my truck inside the wash bay, which is good news for me. So now when I get into the truck, it's gonna be all nice and warm. But yeah, I got a bunch of layers. I feel like an astronaut because I do have to work outside. You guys translate that into Fahrenheit if you want, but -16 is no picnic. So see, like now I'm doing just driving, and it shows 5 liters per, no 7, 5. See, like a tiny green number that shows me the instant fuel economy. And so when you drive steady, this thing is good. This 2-liter turbo, 200 horsepower. But when you start from scratch, like at the lights, I see 30-40 liters per 100 kilometers, just like normal, right? So to pick up speed. And so this thing really hates, you know, going through lights. And of course I'm not even talking about Durango, but Durango definitely has much more torque, much more power. It's really fun to drive if you're not paying for gas. And so what, today's Wednesday. Yeah, after work I definitely gonna go out and do some Ubering. So I got paid, what was it, Monday? Monday the guy paid me for photography. And for some reason I left my mug at work. So I didn't make my own coffee today, so I'm gonna stop by Starbucks and get something. It's foggy because there's a river, there's a small river at the bottom of the hill. No, the fog disappeared. Interesting. Oh, and another godsend with this compass, and of course Durango has it as well, is the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. So I set it up so that whenever I use the remote start, the heat starts, but it doesn't start when I just normally start the car from the inside. So see, now it's getting very hot. I have to turn it off. But yeah, these are the features you want in a vehicle for Canada. Practiced my accordion on my accordion yesterday. One of the songs that I was playing is a Christmas tune. Sounds pretty good on my Italian instrument. Yeah, I filled up yesterday here Shell. The price was $1.40 per liter. Oh, time 6:33. Perfect. I still have time before my shift. To get a cup of coffee. Oh, and now we have another curious thing is that Trudeau, you know, our stupid prime minister, did something right for a change, and now we have GST break. And of course GST is the goods and sales tax, and each province is different. Wrong window.
Hi there, I'll be with you for a moment.
Okay.
Hi there, sorry about that. What can I get for you today?
Yeah, can I please get a Grande Americano upside down, black? That's it.
Perfect. Anything else I can get for you?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Sounds good. I'll see you at the window.
Okay. Oh, and this feature in the cold, you know, I like this. Okay, of course now it's not working. Basically when you touch it once, yeah, okay, see? When you touch it once, it goes up all the way. I have this joke in my head, you know, when I have the camera right on the top of my head, and I have this joke prepared if, you know, I'm gonna keep filming. I'm gonna show you guys the process of ordering coffee at Starbucks in Canada. So halfway, we are halfway there, right? But there's a very cute girl working there. I know her voice. And so I prepared this explanation. Somebody asks me why do I have a camera on my head, I'll say my insurance company wants me to film everything I'm doing because I'm getting into too many accidents. But I'm pretty sure she's not gonna say anything. Yeah, there's a bunch of funny movies on YouTube about drive-thrus, right? Where people play pranks on servers. Like I remember one movie was, I mean one funny video was, hold on. Morning.
How are you today?
Good, how are you? One funny video was when there was a guy sitting in the driver's seat. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Okay. And you see, she didn't even say anything. Because she has, on my GoPro, you know, there's an option, like, do you want to have a blinking light in the front or in the back or both? And because I often film at like, you know, in the crowds when I do street photography, so I turned off the blinking light in the front, and so the only one that's blinking is in the back so that I can check that it's working. And so when the camera is on and you look at me from the front, you have no idea that the camera is recording. So yeah, this Jeep with this all-season tires, I don't know, the traction control is super fantastic on this thing, and the tires, I can go anywhere. I'm not afraid of snow. You don't need winter tires. Just people don't know how to drive, you know. So, oh, and this Kinjo, a couple of times I did food delivery from here, so I'll just sit for a couple of minutes because I have a couple of minutes before. So I have my shift starts at 6:45. Actually, I have to be there at 6:40. Oh yeah, and so the joke I was talking about. So the guy is in the front, in the driver's seat, and he has tinted windows in the back, and his girlfriend was hiding in the back. And so the guy comes to the window like this, and he orders something, and then the girl disappears inside to get his drink. I think it was like McDonald's or something. So he was getting fries and, you know, a burger. And then as she gone, these guys quickly change seats. So the guy moves to the back, and you cannot see him again because it's tinted windows. And the super beautiful girlfriend goes into the front, which is like a blonde, you know, with blue eyes. And so when she sits there with an impassive face, and then the guy opens the window to give her the food, and he looks at her, and he starts looking around. He says, "Where's the guy?" He says, "What guy? It was just me, you know." and while they're doing this, they keep recording. Like at first the girl records her boyfriend, and then when the boyfriend is in the back, he records her girlfriend. And it's so funny that the guy in the window, he does not know how to react. Like, what is he dreaming, or what's going on? Is he going crazy? He says, "Well, I'm pretty sure there was a guy here." No, it was me, you know. Oh, because yeah, I don't know who was ordering, you know, when they came to the machine to order. I don't remember like which voice. Was it the girls or the guys? Because that would be even funnier if they used the girl's voice to, you know, to order. So I delivered that electric boom. Turns out it was like 3 kilometers away. Some guys are doing, I don't know, some electricians rented it to work inside building. And then I came back, and my next run, which I'm doing now, they gave me my favorite machine, a skid steer. The one I operated for 2 months at the Drumheller solar construction site. The only issue is all our machines have they don't have a key, they have a code. There's a code you enter on the panel. It can be tricky to see where the numbers are and what to do. Like you have to press enter at the end. There's a enter sign, kind of like on the computer keyboard. Anyway, I remember my first time I could not do it because there's no dedicated panel with numbers. You know, like you would think, right? There would be like a little panel, kind of like on the phone, with numbers. No, it's right. Everything is combined there with other stuff like your hydraulics and your parking brake, and so you have to look through and see kind of like the second set of symbols on the same keys, you know. So it can be very confusing. So first time I had to ask for help. Like, wait, how do I enter the code? Where are the freaking numbers? But now I'm like a pro after like 9 months on the job. And so this pro gets in the skid steer that the guys left overnight, because our shop guys, they can see scheduled deliveries for the next day, you know. So they see what goes out. And so if they see it's a machine that usually has trouble starting in cold weather, they would put it inside the warehouse. You know, and so that's the first thing I check. So they tell me, okay, a skid steer. So I go to the shop supervisor. I said, did you guys, or like a shop guy, I said, did you guys put it in? And he says, yeah, I just actually put it out. It's just outside the door, but it spent the night in the shop. I said, oh, cool. So it should be warm. And I go there, I get in, I check my phone. I took a picture of that sheet with all the codes for all our machines. And because, you know, you need to know the unit number, and then you look, okay, that unit number, that make, let's say in this case it's John Deere, let's say unit, I don't know, 75, right? You look on the sheet, okay, John Deere unit 75, the code is this. And so I'm a pro, right? So I enter the code, nothing happens. It says invalid code. I double check the code, enter it again, press enter. Maybe I thought I forgot to press enter. Press enter. Make sure I press each button, you know, firmly. Nothing. Invalid code. So I go to the shop supervisor, and I remember they were doing something the other day. I saw them. They were with the mechanic. They were running around all the machines. So it turned out they changed all the codes. I guess they've been the same for a long time. Maybe they change them like once a year. And now there's a new sheet in the shop with all the codes. So they say, take a picture of the new codes. I took a picture, went out, the machine started fine, and it had no attachment. So and I checked the paperwork. The customer where I'm going, they only want forks. They don't even want the bucket. So I hooked up the forks. We have a bunch of forks sitting on the ground, and you have to make sure that you take the proper ones, but because there's two types of forks, one for the smaller machine, one for the bigger machine. But smaller forks will not fit on this one, like the, you know, those what shall we call them, like teeth, you know, that grab the fork. They're spaced specifically like this for that set of forks, so you cannot grab the smaller ones. They won't stay put, you know. But I grabbed the forks and used the lock on the right there at the top to lock them up, and then I lifted them, turned them over, and looked to make sure that the locks are out, that everything is locked. And the machine has lights, perfect, you know, like the headlights, so you can see everything. But then I still went to my dispatcher just in case. I said, just to make sure, these guys want forks only, right? No bucket. And he says, yeah, forks only. Okay. And he says, call them before you leave. So I secured the machine. So put 4 chains on it because it's less than 10,000 pounds. I put 2 chains in the front, 1 chain in the back, and then 1 strap over the forks. Call the guy. I said, I can see I'll be there in half an hour. It's heavy traffic. And he says, oh yeah, we're the same distance away. He says, give us a call. It's a big yard where we're going. It's like a municipal City of Calgary yard. He says, the easiest way to get you to the proper spot is just give us a call. Oh, you see sunrise. When you're 5 minutes away, and one of my guys will meet you at the gate and guide you. Perfect, because yeah, some of these places, you know, like some maintenance yard, they can be huge. And like, where do you go? You know? And so when we have a second set of paperwork, we give the customer sometimes. And there's a spot there for the code, so you write down the code number. Because if you forget and you don't give him the code, the guy won't be able to start the machine, right? So yeah, just as the weather app said, 7 minutes, except, but everything is red. What do you mean 7 minutes? Oh, he wants me to take exit on Trans-Canada 16 Ave. Okay, I'll bite. I was hoping something like this happened because yeah, I saw when I was mapping the route, I saw there was a lot of red colors on the map. You see, like over there, and I thought, hey, I'd record the video while I'm driving with this. And if you can hear that sound, that's my exhaust brake. I don't think it's a Jake brake. It's very weak, and it has only one position, on or off. So right now it's on. Oh yeah, it wants me to take exit at 1.4 clicks, 1.3 now. But my mirrors are fogged up. I cannot see anything. Let's hope nobody kills me. Come on, can I turn, please? Okay, there's a big semi truck, alright, so I can see he's slowed down. Let's give him a flash of thank you. That's what I do sometimes, you know. It's so cool because this thing has emergency lights on the roof, and so when somebody gives me a break when I'm changing lanes or something, I just flash for like a couple of seconds, you know. I bet people love it because it brightens up everything because they're super bright. Oh, check this out, Purelator, and on the side it says hybrid electric vehicle. By the way, all the transit buses, public transport, all the buses run on hydrogen. You know, interesting. Like, they don't advertise it too much. Like, they keep talking about electric vehicles, but actually, yeah, they're saying that hydrogen, it's expensive because they need special equipment. But I don't know. Hundreds of buses in Calgary and all over Canada chose hydrogen as their main type of fuel, and they work fine. Yeah, today is gonna. Oh, and the good news is that I'm driving and I'm thinking about Uber because I saw an announcement on our lunchroom door, our new hours for the end of the year, for the Christmas and New Year, and there's like 3 days. I think it's December 24th, 25th, and then 31st and 1st we totally closed. And then there's like 4 or 5 days when we open only from 8 to 1, which like I'm so glad, because I always want to try Uber like full day, from early in the morning till night, and not on a Saturday. But let's say I get up at 6 and see what happens from 6 to 6, and so this December I'll have a chance to do that. Like on 24th I can do all day Uber, I can do it on 25th, and honestly I'm not just doing it for the money, I just love it. I love meeting people, talking. Of course there's a bunch of assholes out there. I usually give them 1 star. Like yesterday, a guy gets in, a young kid, when I was doing Uber, and I say like his name, let's say Kwan or something, because he was Chinese. I say, Kwan? He says 1 word in English, yes. He gets in and he continues talking on the phone in Chinese, I don't know, Mandarin or whatever. I'm not an expert, but Chinese. So he keeps talking in Chinese all 10 minutes that we are driving. And of course it's not quiet. And then when I drop him off, I say, here? He says, yes, thank you, sir. That's all the words he said in English the entire time. And then another time I pick up a couple at Cross Iron Mills, and husband and wife, I assume. So the wife sits right behind me, right? The husband sits in the back on the right, and the wife proceeds to chat very loudly in Spanish on the phone. And it's like so annoying. It's like unbelievable, because I don't understand a word. It's so rude, So I gave him 1 star. Would you drive him again? No, it says, how would you rate this passenger? 1 star. And there's a bunch of Indian guys, Spanish, like they don't care. Like they get in. So, what is this? Oh wow, this is nuts. It wants me to 7 minutes, but it wants me to go straight.
Use the left 2 lanes to take the 16th Avenue North ramp, then continue straight.
16th Avenue North. What the heck are you doing? Can you believe this? He just did this little trick. Like sometimes people do this.
Continue straight.
What an idiotic software, So just kick me out of Highway 2, put me on a ramp, and it says it'll save you 7 minutes. Holy mackerel, because I couldn't see at first, that it was sending me on the ramp. Yeah, you gotta take these suggestions with a grain of salt,
Continue on Alberta to south for 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer. What's after 1 kilometer? No, I cannot go that way. He wants me to go on Memorial and then cross the river near the zoo, where no trucks are allowed, and ask me how I know that. Because I ended up in a situation where I had nowhere to go. All of a sudden there's a bridge and it says no trucks. What? But this thing, of course, it does not know that I'm in a truck, right? I tried some tracking software. I think once I had a TomTom for truckers. Oh, and then I had, I had a bunch of these for even when you can enter your, dimensions and your weight. But quite often those apps they would have a glitch or a mistake in their database, and they will send you like 50 miles out of your route, 80 kilometers, because you told them that, let's say you're 14 feet tall, and for some reason they decide that the next bridge is 13.6, Yeah, it happened to other guys as well. I remember reading about this in the forums. And so, because they're very complicated, these tracking routing apps, right? Because they ask you for the weight, what's your gross weight. So maybe they think some bridges has a lower capacity than your weight, and so it sends you around, So yeah, I don't use them. And police, I often notice that police vehicles are always super clean, Not always, but the other day there was a bunch of snow and ice, and I see 2 police vehicles, and of course over here they're all Fords.
There's a lane closure ahead.
Like their favorite is Ford Explorer over here, like this one over here. And you see in Calgary they have it's a black vehicle with some safety stripes in the back, and 2 front doors. Two front doors are white. Yeah, something happened over here. And I think I'm taking this exit. Yeah, 17F, because that's the other way. Guessing a guy hit the divider or something. Oh, a guy ended up in the ditch and hit the wall. Now here's gonna be very slow, but I have nowhere to go. I cannot use that bridge near the zoo, because sometimes I see those freaking peace officers over there, because there's clear signage. Yeah, when you turn a memorial ramp, there's a sign that says to the right, no trucks.
Use the right lane to take the ramp to Blackfoot Trail South, then merge onto 17th Avenue South.
Yeah, in this area sometimes I see bums, like they have some tents. And then the other day I saw a bunch of cops came down there to move them out. And there's a cop over there sitting on the ramp. What's he trying to do? Catch speeders in this traffic jam? Or maybe he kicked out. Again, I was here the other day. This is Blackfoot Trail, so we're going west towards downtown. And there's always a traffic jam here because these guys are coming from here. And the other day I saw RV parked over there, and I saw there was smoke coming out of the pipe. Actually, yeah, it's still there. So somebody decided, we had this situation here. It was on the news, like 6 or 8 people chose one of the city streets close to a Walmart, like in some nice area, and they were basically living there. I think I mentioned this before. So they were living in those RVs because they have nowhere to go. One guy said he's a former trucker. He's getting like $600 pension. He cannot afford to rent an apartment. And yeah, I see a cop sitting over there.
Continue for 2 kilometers.
Oh, it's because there was an accident. I see that red car with a smashed hood. So the guy's writing in the report. Yeah, and that's the RV that I saw yesterday. but no smoke coming out of the pipe. But yeah, that's what sometimes they do, you know, they buy these old RVs and then they just find a place where to park. Probably that's in my future, you know. But yeah, so these 6, 7 or 8 people that were on that street, they got in the news and the city started putting no parking signs in there because they were just sitting on the side of the road, you know. And then the police came and tow trucks and they made them leave. And they were fighting, there were interviews on television with these guys, and one guy says, yeah, I've been there for 20 years. So 20 years and he hasn't paid a cent, no parking, nothing, you know. And they said, why don't you go to a like RV park? He says, can't afford the fees. And plus they're not open 20 you know, year round because it's Alberta, right? It's cold climate. But I see some people do that, you know. When I was a trucker, I met quite a few RVers, whatever they call themselves. And what some people do is, you know, when their kids grow up and kids leave home, most people would, let's say, they would sell their house, right? And they would downsize to, let's say, a condo somewhere in Florida, like I'm talking about Americans, like a apartment, so that you don't have to deal with grass and snow and stuff like that. But some people, what they do is they sell everything when the kids, you know, leave the house again, because they don't need such a big house, and they buy an RV. And let's say they always wanted to travel but never had time before, and that's all they do, you know. Now they have a bunch of money and they go whenever they want to go, and they stay in RV parks, or sometimes they would go to a hotel, right, when they got tired of the RV situation. And so yeah, but you know, actually once I went to a RV dealer and I was surprised how expensive these things are.
Turn right onto the 26th Avenue Southeast ramp.
And the loan, it's like for 25 years or something, you know, kind of like a house. But it would be cool, you know, like let's say I'm retired. I hate sitting in one place, right? Just get an RV and you can travel. Since I'm a Canadian citizen, I can cross into US.
Turn right onto the 26th Avenue Southeast ramp, then turn right onto 26th Avenue Southeast.
I can cross into US and just, you know, in winter go to somewhere where it's warm.
26th Avenue Southeast.
And I know there, you know, there's a bunch of truck stops, right? You can stay at a truck stop. And truck stops have showers, you know. They have restaurants. So that's when I can do Uber. You see, December 24th, we finish work at 1 or 1:15. And then we close 25th and 26th, so I can do Uber 25th, 26th. And then again 27th, 30 we open till 4, and we close on December 31st and January 1st and January 2nd regular hours. And so 24, so when do we close? 25, 26 and 31st. 25, 26, 31st. So 25. So 25 is Wednesday, 26 is Thursday, and 31st is Tuesday, and 1st is Wednesday. See, so that's perfect. So that's the next week. Oh, and on 27th, my Durango goes out. Double check if it's still there. So let me go into the app, the rental app, And then I click trips. Yeah, starting at 10 a.m. Friday, December 27th at 10 a.m. This gentleman is expecting to pick up the vehicle at my location. So no delivery, and then he returns it at 10 a.m. on Saturday, January 4th. Okay. So I'll have to make sure that it's all gassed up and clean. So probably I'll have to go to one of those car washes, you know, like coin car wash, and just clean all the mats and wash the car, and then use my spray, that red bottle, to clean the seats. But that one is pretty clean, except yeah, I did use it a couple of times for Uber, but again, it's just, if you saw my video about my gross income, like when I thought about it, wait a second, I spent $500 on gas in November. Like, that does not make any sense, you know, at 10 liters per 100 kilometers does not make sense, because I only grossed what, $1,600. Okay, hold on. So the guy escorted me, we're inside this City of Calgary maintenance yard. Over here it says LRT track and way, so I'm guessing that's where they work on LRT trucks. And gave him the machine, unloaded, and he was sitting there for a while. Sometimes, you know, people are not used to one particular make and model, so they keep looking for the main button is hydraulics, right? Because as soon as you raise that safety bar, the hydraulics deactivate, and so when let's say he climbed in, he put that safety bar down, but nothing works, right? So you have to find the button, and I think in this one it's on the right, on that panel. I think it says H, hydraulics, and you push that one, you push the parking brake button, and then you can the right joystick is for the bucket or the forks, and the left one is controls your movement, left, right. So I love it. That's ISO, no ISO pattern, so you don't have to use your feet. Your feet is only for the gas, or you can, there's a dial here, you can just set the RPM, let's say, to maximum as they recommend. And what happens often is that, you know, when I just do a delivery, they give me they send me a text message and they say grab this one after the delivery. And so now I thought I was going back to the yard, instead I'm going 2430.
Hey, thank you, I appreciate it.
So yeah, I'm going to Balzac. I think I dropped this one off. It's 243079, Range Road 34. Okay, how far is that? Oh wow, no, it's not Balzac, it's freaking in the okay, it's a Rocky View. It's a 26 scissor lift, 26 foot by 32 inches. Okay, cool, a little adventure. 40 kilometers from me here. Yeah, so I have to go this way. Yeah, picking up a small scissor lift. So that's what happens sometimes. And actually before I used to call them, but then you have to wait on hold, you know, like, well, let's say when I just have a delivery, I would call and say, hey, you guys have anything for me on the way back? And 9 out of 10 they would say no, they don't have anything. And sorry, that was neutral. And so I stopped calling. So now I just wait for them to send me a text, and that works. Okay, I have to get out of here somehow. So yeah, that was the boss of this construction company who came over, and he said they're gonna leave the machine right there where it's sitting right now. And I said, just tell the dispatch to send the same guy who delivered it. Like I said, my name's Sergei. Just tell them to send me. Okay, I'm gonna flip around over here. Oh, perfect. There's like a little corridor in the back there. Hopefully we don't kill any civilians while doing this extremely dangerous maneuver. I don't know, I still have this old trucker habit, you know. Always turn on my flashes when I'm packing. And actually in the car, when I do Uber, and I notice I'm not the only one, when I have to discharge the passenger, right? And of course, quite often, you know, there's no parking, so you stop just, you know, let's say there's cars parked over here, and guy or lady, they say, okay, here is, I can get out here. And I'm like, okay. So I always put on my four-way flashers, because sometimes there's two people, right? And one of them gets on the left and there's traffic there. I said, just be careful, you know. And I see other guys are doing the same. Whenever they're dropping somebody off, like Uber guys, they would turn on the four-way, their four-ways. Okay, so it's a tricky. Okay, this guy has a stop sign. Okay. And so this guy says, have you ever been to Manchester Yard? And I said, I don't think so, but actually I've been here before.
Stay to the right.
Yeah, I've been here before. So yeah, Manchester Center, Calgary Transit. It's
200 meters.
corporate properties and buildings. So yeah, they have a.
Then at the roundabout, turn right.
I saw ladies smoking over there, like dressed nicely. So they have an office over here. So it's an office of Calgary Transit. You know, one of these days I should try that LRT thing. Just maybe do like a tour around Calgary. But then, you know, if I put a camera in my head, people will start staring. All right, which way are you going? It wants me to go over there on the hill. All right. I'll bite again. But even
Turn
though
left on Dartmouth Road Southeast.
I'm not sure I can.
Then at the roundabout, turn right on Highfield Road Southeast.
No, actually it's. Yeah, so it wants me to go this way, and then there's a road over there. And that this roundabout is just crazy. It has 4 entrances and exits with 2 lanes. It's easy to get lost over here.
At the roundabout, turn right on Highfield Road Southeast.
And there's a railroad tracks in the middle. Okay, see, I'm turning this way. Yeah, and now we're going on top of this hill.
In 1 kilometer, stay to the right to Blackwood Trail Southeast.
Yeah, and that's where I just was over there. It's a huge property. And it's already 9 o'clock, so I already worked for 2 hours. So by the time I reach my destination, it'll be 9:45. And then by the time I come back, it'll be 11, so time for lunch. Oh, yesterday I got that
300 meters. Stay to
yesterday I got that soup again. I stopped by a Sobeys grocery store and I bought 2 cans of which way we're going? 2 cans
Stay
of
right to Blackfoot Trail Southeast.
organic. Wait, this way.
Into 5 kilometers. Exit to Glenmore Trail West.
This is really confusing over here. So I bought 2 cans of soup. One was lentils and vegetables, and the other one was French style split pea soup. And they were organic, you know, and so I mixed them together, heated them, you know, for 3 minutes in the microwave, occasionally stirring them up, and they tasted pretty good. And now they're on sale. I think it used to be $5 for 1 can. Now it's like $4.50 or $4.75 or something. And we still have this GST holiday. I think it's so many items don't have this 5% sales tax, which is great. And I'm on the Glenmore Trail, Highway 8, heading west. Passing Chinook Center, a popular shopping center. And this is the area very good for taxi work, and also here, somewhere here, like on this side, like I don't know, half a kilometer away, is a shop called Calgary Muffler. That's probably the best custom muffler shop that, you know, they do custom exhaust. And that's where I took my Compass first to remove the mufflers, and then I did not like the sound, so I went back there. No, actually, wait, they were too expensive. Yeah, they're a bit on the pricey side, but they do very good work. Like, it looks like factory, you know. But then I decided to add the Flowmaster Super 10s. Got them on Amazon, and I found a shop in my area. Some Chinese guy did a pretty good job, so the mufflers are still there. They haven't fallen off in a year, you know. Good job. And so what's happening here, we're just following Highway 8 west till we hit the Ring Road 201. Oh, another accident on the left, I'm guessing. Like, why are there accidents? There's no snow. The roads are clear. But you know the statistics, right? They say the most accidents happen on a sunny day, on a dry road, on a straight stretch with no turns. Which is exactly how that accident in Kentucky happened, when the guy hit my excavator with a pickup truck. It was straight road. It was weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. I think it was Saturday. No traffic, and the guy flies by, loses control, boom, hits me. Cuts my tires. I had to replace, I think, 3 tires. Trail 201 West. My cruise control is set at 95 clicks an hour, so I have to hold the steering wheel with both hands. It's a dangerous job, but somebody gotta do it. 116 F West. And I'm still 13 clicks away from my destination. And I think I delivered this one, but I'm not 100%. So I try to remember where exactly is it that I'm going. Because the address is on a range road, so it can be in the middle of nowhere. Hey, but speed limit 80 clicks an hour. And I'm doing 80. But after the hill, it turns to 110. 68 miles per hour.
In 6.6 kilometers. Take exit 169, Springbank, Range Road 33.
Oh, I think it's where the airport is. Oh, okay. I think I delivered this one. Yeah, there's like a company that deals with the airport. You know, they provide services to the airport. There's a small airport there. And I remember I dropped it inside the bay. But that was like, I don't know, a month and a half ago. Yeah, I see 110. So now we can have some fun. Exit 169. 169. And we have fog again, which is never fun. Boy, and that blue, what is it? Mercedes bus. It says at the top, you love seeing Banff like this. So I'm guessing it's a tour. It's called Discover Banff Tours. And I saw these guys that were advertising. They were looking for drivers. Yeah, I see Discover Banff Tours. And by the way, my friend in Kalispell, Montana, who runs a fleet of these rental vehicles, he bought something like this for rentals. Really? Okay. Can you do 120? I guess the answer is no. Mercedes-Benz. This is a Freightliner. Who are you trying to compete with, buddy? German bus. That's where you go to the airport, but actually it shows me I have to go this way.
Exit right to exit 169, Springbank, Range Road 33. Then stay right to Range Road 33 South.
No, then it's not the same place I was thinking about, because those guys were near the airport. So maybe it was not me who delivered, right? Because we have one other driver
Stay to the right to Range Road 33
with the
south.
same similar Freightliner, except his truck is newer. His truck is like 1 year old.
In 1.7 kilometers, turn right on Hubbard Road.
And that's how I get back. That's the ramp to go back to Calgary. What? 30 kilometers an hour. Oh, 8 to 4 school days. Time now 9:40 and it's a school day, so no, wait, is it a school day? I think these kids are on vacation now, no? But just in case, I see other guys are driving slow. Last thing I want to do is is to run into a hungry village cop. Man, so how far is the school zone? To Saskatchewan border? What the heck? Happy holidays. Enjoy your break. Oh, yeah, so it's not a school day. But, and there's an end of school zone sign, so we good. We are good to go.
In 300 meters, turn right.
Turn right. Wow. It's really in the middle of nowhere.
Turn right on Hubbard Road.
Haggard Road. So you guys get to see the country. Yeah, here you would have basically it's farms or some rich people with horses